Hi everyone, welcome to Essa's Corner. And for today, I would be sharing with you my sort of 2026 resolutions. I don't exactly do resolutions as much, but I think that for this coming year, 2026, I need to be a lot more accountable with my actions. And I'm looking for also for an accountability that I have to look back to on what I planned for my year and did I sort of accomplish those plans. Just to touch base on what I planned for my year just at the start of the year, and I stick to it, or did I just wing it, so to speak. At the same time, this is also a video for the future Vanessa that will be watching this by the end of 2026 to touch base on what I mentioned in this video and on what had happened to my year, so to speak. These are sort of my resolutions. One of the things that I've decided in order to avoid getting burnt out with being constantly on my phone, constantly on a gadget, constantly online, or constantly being on social media, one thing that I decided was to go back on the basic, and that is going back to what I think we call now like slow hobby. Yes. So getting back to slow hobby like drawing. I started doing sewing. I started doing some sewing recently. So this is part of my slow hobby. No, it's the other way around. So yeah, so this is my slow hobby. I started doing some of sewing or embroidery. This is what they call embroidery. This is you call embroidery. So I started doing some embroidery, which allows me to regulate my system and just be like, calm down. You need to calm down, and makes me stop, makes me breathe, makes me just pause for the moment. So those are one of my resolutions, to just get back to like slow hobbies. I might continue because I used to love drawing. I've got stacks and stacks. My mom would probably correct me with this one, but I have like stacks of drawing notebooks back at my house, at my parents' house. But then I haven't done that before, so I might go back. Just something to pause, to give me, like I said, to regulate my systems, and then so I'm not constantly on my phone looking at screens, ruining my eyes, which is already ruined anyway. So I started doing that. Slow hobbies, I've got that. And part of a slow hobby as well, probably it's considered, is to read books. I started reading books again, and reading actual books, and not on my iPad, not on my Kindle, but more on like actual books. And it's also to retrain my attention span. So I would set a 1 hour timer for me to have my quiet time, like read the Bible and then pray. And then I have that. And then once I finish my Bible reading and my quiet time, my prayer, if my 1 hour slot is not finished yet, I would start reading books. The ones that I'm reading at the moment is a samurai detective. This is the one I'm reading. Sorry, let me just put down my notebook. So this one that I'm currently reading at the moment, a samurai detective. So I'm reading this one, and I would read it for pleasure, in a sense that I would slow down, read it, and not like the kind of reading that I used to do before, that I would try to finish the book in, or finish a chapter in one sitting, or and that just sort of stressed me because I'm not reading as fast as I used to. Now I'll just calm down, read a few pages and everything. Once my alarm goes off, if I don't have anything of importance to do, I've still got time, reset the time for like another 30 minutes or like another hour, and just read there and absorb what's happening on the book, on the text, and then do some writing or recollections, or write down my thoughts about what I read, and then that's it. Start my day, or go to prepare to go to work, or prepare to make these videos. Something that something that just slows me down. That's what I have been trying to do recently. So those are like sort of my resolutions. Uh, do a slow hobby that is nothing to do with social media, nothing to do about my work, nothing to do about my job, something that I enjoyed, like embroidery, and I was restart growing again, and reading books. I says here that I would want to read. I'm reading, but as part of my resolution, I want to read classics again. I haven't got back into reading it again because I was trying to finish The Samurai Detective, but I started reading The Pilgrim's Progress, and I enjoyed the poetry of it. I think the one that I've got is the original one, not the I don't know, because I tried to read the original one on Internet Archive. I just found it online, actually. That's why I sort of put it on pause, because I want to read it properly on a proper book. The one that I've read is very poetic, on a poetry kind of look, wherein it's got some s- stanzas in there, and it's in a poetry form. And then the one that I got from downloaded on my Kindle is more on a paragraph form, like a book form. So I was kind of confused. But getting back to my point, I would want to read classics again, but more so because I want to get immersed again to that kind of language. So I'm going to be I haven't read it before. I'm going to be reading classics. I wrote it here, at least 5 classics for 2026, at least 5 classics. Started reading Pilgrim's Progress, so that's book number one after I finish with my Samurai Detective. So for the meantime, for next year, that is just what I'm going to do. Just read 5 classics, at least 5 classics in a year, but that is just classics. For the rest of my book reading, I would try to read something else. Again, finish my Samurai Detectives, get back to reading some fantasy books. I would want to reread some of my nonfiction books as well. So just basically read books, not books that are not on Kindle, not on not on my iPad, but like actual books. So I don't get distracted and I don't strain my eyes as well. Not to look down on people that has Kindles or iPads. I do have a Kindle. I read on my Kindle. I read on my iPad. I read on a Kindle more so because I don't like carrying. If I'm traveling, I don't need to carry like big bounds of books. I know that I've got something to read on my Kindle. And also, when you're outside, it is summer, you are by the seaside, by the poolsides, it's very difficult to read actual books because they reflect. Even my iPad does that. But with Kindle, it helps because it's tiny, and because of the how it was made, I could read without having to worry about sun reflections. So there are pros and cons. I'm not looking down on people that does that, because I do that as well. What I'm talking about is that for this coming year, I need to read actual books and not rely on gadgets and technology gadgets to do my reading. So I need to just go back, relax my eyes, regulate my system. And one of the things that I could do that is by going back reading books, writing on notebooks, and doing some slow hobbies. Anyway, So that's one, two. And then my final one is that stick to learning Spanish. So I have been learning Spanish for the past, how old am I? 40 years. I have been learning Spanish. It's just that I would make progress and then would stop or won't practice. And then I would lose that progress and then relearn everything again. And it was just a vicious cycle. So now stick to learning it so that by this time next year, I could say words in Spanish more than hola, ¿cómo estás? More than that. Obviously, I do know more than that. But I can't think of anything at the moment. It was one of those. Like, if you ask me to speak my native language, Tagalog, I could do that like this time, like right now, even though kahit na I don't have anything na importante na sabihin, I could speak, kaya ko magsalita ng Tagalog kahit na wala naman akong particular na topic, subject, topic in mind. But with Spanish, I do know how to speak Spanish, but then when you ask me to speak Spanish, I'll just be like, mental block. I don't know what to say. So I want to overcome that. So I need to be committed in learning my Spanish for this coming year. So yeah, I think this video is taking a bit long. And if you've watched some of my previous video, I'm wearing the same thing because I finished taking a video of that one and then just proceeded and taking this videos. Because I don't care. Okay, I don't care. You wouldn't care. You would care more on what I'm trying to say and what I'm saying than rather than what I'm wearing anyway. So that's why we're friends. That's why I love you guys. Anywho, so those are my 2026 resolutions and something that I want to be accountable for so that by next time this year, I have made progress on that resolutions and that I would tell my future self that I'm so proud of you, Vanessa. You've progressed and stuck to your guns and stuck to your resolutions and you did well. So that's what I want to tell my future self. Yeah. So yeah, thank you again for everything. And once again, this is Essa. If you want to see some behind the scenes maybe or some day in the life of me, you could follow me on my Instagram or my TikTok. There are Essa socials, the same as the handle of my YouTube channel. If you got any comments, if you got any suggestions, if you got anything to say, just leave a comment on this video. So once again, this is Essa and welcome to Essa's Corner and see you again next time. And that's it. Bye-bye.